This is Suji Kwock Kim, and I'll be reading Fragments of the Forgotten War. This poem is dedicated to my father, and it's in his imagined voice. You whom I could not protect, when will I forget you? When will I forget the northern soldiers who took you away for questioning, so we never saw you again? We 3 sons fled south in January 1951 without you, with 1 million others on Xinjiang, the old imperial highway between Pyongyang and Seoul. I felt artillery crash miles away in the soles of my feet, the ground shuddering. I heard the drone and snarl of engines as fighter planes swarmed toward us, like a war in heaven, but not heaven. A war between gods, who weren't gods. Now, missiles whistling on their search and destroy. Now, delayed fuse demolition bombs exploding around us. Now, blowing craters larger than houses. Now, firing phosphorus flares 3,000 feet high, while we knelt like beggars before the blasts, using the dead as shields, covering our faces from the blizzard of shrapnel, blizzard of limbs and flaming skin, of all who left this world in a grave of smoke. I'll never forget the smell of burning flesh. I'll never forget the stench of open sores, pus, gangrene, the smell of people rotting who hadn't died yet, or the cries of the wounded moaning without morphine, a boy sinking his teeth into his arm to take his mind off the gash that ripped his stomach, biting down until you saw bone glint through, like teeth in a mass grave. At night, we fought for the few standing barns, shacks, outhouses. Without fuel, we burned shit for heat until the light from our fires drew bombers. We caught fever and frostbite from walking hundreds of miles through snow, walking through Daejeon, the Cholas, Daegu, Jinju. When food ran out, we ate cattle feed, ate bark, ate lice from our own bodies until our gums bled, until we could only shit water by the time we got to Busan. What I wouldn't give to bring back that miserable village I hated as a boy. Sometimes in my dreams, you hoot like a soul owl. What have you done with your life? Who will you become? Who? I can only speak to you in broken things. I can only speak in bullets, grenade shards, mortar casings, and broken barricades. I know I'm orphaned. I know you suffered, but I'll never know how. I think of the loneliness of the dying, the bodies I saw along the way, rotting separately. I think of that boy biting his arm, who didn't live through the night, wild dogs gnawing his skull in the morning, his whole face an exit wound. I think of a carcass foaming with maggots, the bone black with hatching flies.
Bah. Like, subscribe, notification bell, join the herd.